Jamo with the banger.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Happy Thursday, boys.
Happy Thursday. Thirsty Thursday, man. Although there's no bars to hit, no clubs to hit, nothing really to hit. There's nothing going on, man. Just kind of just hit the house, stay in the house, as James Franco said. And this is the end for those of you who've seen that movie. Just stay in the house, safe
Love
for
that
inside.
movie.
SpongeBob said it's indoors.
They need to make a second movie, bro.
They should,
right after all this, a second movie.
What, like them in heaven and how they
just
live
called
up in heaven.
the world almost ended, and then
The world almost
guys
ended.
again, right? That'd be like a good sequel, bro. A solid sequel, and just it'll show the lives of them like in a situation like this. You know what I mean? I'd love to see that. I'd love to see it.
There should be an animated virus though, where it goes around. They actually
it's like a Hangover. It's like the Hangover 2 to the first Hangover film. Like it'll be a good movie. Just don't make a third one, but make a second one. You know what I mean?
You could do that. That could be a move. But anyway, let me introduce our guest today. Got my boy Jamo. He stays with the banger. He is one of my dearest friends, my homie, my boy, ex-roomie, Londoner with me. Study abroad together, so we actually met. And just get to know him a little bit, man. So tell us about yourself, bro. What's up?
I'm from Chicago. I see I have my government name on here. It's all good. I'm graduating from NYU this year, majoring in public policy. And what I've been doing lately is just music and Call of Duty.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. So you've been playing Cold War? You got the new one, or are you still sticking to Modern Warfare?
I play Cold War sometimes. I'm not a fan of it.
I feel you. Yeah, I haven't even played it yet. I know they have zombies for free this week. Anyone who wants to know, free this week.
It's really easy.
Really? Oh, we'll have to run that. But so when did you get into music, man? I know that's like your passion. That's like everything. Like every time I see you with your laptop making beats, and I love that about you. Super motivated and super, into your passion, which is great. So how did you discover music? What was your first time really, getting to work with that?
It was about 18 years ago. My dad got me a drum set a little before that. And I didn't really like it. I'm going to be honest. I didn't really care for it. So I was just playing around with it like a little bit. And then I got Rock Band. I think that came out in 2007. And I was shredding on the drums there. So I just learned some of the songs on there on the drum set. Then I started taking lessons. I did that for a year. And then I taught myself how to play it after that. And then a lot of other instruments came after that. So it's been a journey.
So what do you play now? Drums to what? What's in your repertoire?
Well, that I actively play guitar, drums, bass, and piano. But I still know how to play the saxophone, flute, clarinet. What else do I know how to play?
I used to play the clarinet back in the day.
Squidward.
3 years when I was in India, dude. I was terrible at it. It's difficult. It's so difficult, bro.
Yeah.
Do you have a clarinet at home, or are you still playing it, or is that just something that you kind of had for a while, gave up?
It's just something I know how to play from when I did. Because like when you play woodwinds, they all have the same fingerings for the most part. Just they're different tuning. So like a C for clarinet would be a B flat for flute. So that would just be something, and a B flat for flute would be a G for trumpet. But they're all the same. It's just how you play the instrument, how you make the sound that changes.
Mm-hmm.
That's super interesting. So did you start playing or learning jazz or classical? How were you trained?
Now with the flute, I started that in sixth grade of high school. I was classically trained with that. Then I started guitar lessons seventh grade of high school. That was jazz mainly. And out of all of those, I incorporate all of those in what I do now. Mainly jazz, but the classical still important.
So how do you feel about, I know a lot of modern producers, they really don't, well, I mean, some of them, piano, I guess you kind of really have to know, keyboard at least, but a lot of them don't play like all the instruments that you play. They don't even make their own music, their own sounds. It's just like, synthetically made through programs and stuff like that. But I know you actually make beats, apply doing like playing the drums, playing the guitar, and then all mixing it together, and kind of like your own self-made orchestra in that sense. So, do you notice the difference, like when you're listening to a beat or a song, like, oh, this guy probably, made made the drum beat or whatever the hell it is, compared to a synthetic or made it through a program? Can you tell by just hearing it?
Sometimes I can. Just like by programming things, you can program things you can't humanly play.
Okay.
Or you could just tell if they sample something. And
Mm-hmm.
even though I don't do those as much, it's just a different appreciation for it. Because with me playing all of the instruments myself, I'm limited to my ability. And I guess how I hear things is just how I hear things. And like by using samples, you get to hear a different perspective and like just new ideas. So it's just a different vibe to it.
Okay, I get it. Makes sense. So do you would you prefer just doing it on the laptop completely? Because like you said, you have more of you could do more sounds, like you said, that you can't humanly make, that you could do through the laptop. Would you prefer that, or did you kind of mix and match?
Mix and match. You got to know when and where like to do it. If as of now, I don't see like myself performing any of the music I've produced and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But just in case, like some of it'll be too hard to play.
Yeah, no, I bet, dude. That's why I always find it interesting, like going to live concerts and stuff. A lot of the times rappers will just have, the guy, their DJ, their MC, whatever, producer just with the laptop and turntable, and then he's just there by himself rapping. Or other times, like I've seen Future numerous times, he's had live bands, doing his songs and making the music from his songs. And then yeah, they still have that MC in the background. I mean, not the MC, the DJ in the background too, laying down the beat. But you still have that live music aspect of it, which I find really, really cool. And I'm sure that you can't really do that. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you can't do that on some beats and some songs. You can't have that live music because it's just like you said, it's not humanly possible to make those specific sounds. But I mean, I really appreciate live music, and I think that's like, if you can do that in some way, incorporate that into your own repertoire of music, your library of music, I think that's super duper cool. But do you like perform? Do you perform live? I mean, you used to perform live, right? Like,
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while. I think last gig um, I had two. It was like right when I got back from London to Chicago.
mm-hmm.
One was piano. I had to play with a singer, and the other was drums. I kind of like what I do with performing because I'm behind the scenes. I'm low key.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like just being out on the front and like kind of like the main show. That's not a thing.
So you're just sticking to your music and doing your thing, man. I mean, that's, yeah, for sure. I
That's
feel
great.
that.
Yeah. That probably makes things more original and kind of keeps you away from all that extra drama and stuff like that. And you're just focusing on the music, the things that matter to you. And I'm curious, as you brought up Chicago, kind of like, how did Chicago, change your perception of growing up there, your perception in music and your musical inclination? Obviously you have a lot of greats that have come from Chicago, from blues to jazz, like Benny Goodman, Sam Cooke, Willie Dixon. We took a class in jazz back in college, and we heard about Willie Dixon a lot, and then obviously current day artists that are well known like Common and Kanye. So how did Chicago just like inspire you? You know, how was your kind of your upbringing? You know, was when was your first time like really experiencing music, and how do you keep that with you today as you continue to produce music?
That's a great question. I feel separated from the Chicago scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I started doing music to now, I'm really to myself with it. Um, Let me think. A band I liked that is from Chicago, Disturbed, Smashing Pumpkins. I grew up listening to alternative rock, so I wasn't just limited to Chicago. Even now, like the beats I make versus the music I listen to are completely different, different things. So I guess it's not Chicago, but just a genre of progressive rock, of metal that
Mm-hmm.
kind of shaped my music style more than anything. And of course, like what happens in Chicago, like with all the violence, I guess there's both been a yearning to leave and a feeling to help.
Mm.
That's kind of what
Mm-hmm.
you offer from my music. That just feeling of being torn apart between those two.
So how was it growing up in Chicago? Um, early 2000s. Obviously, you lived there up until college, right? Until you went to London, which actually before New York, right? Well, I mean, I'll let you tell your story about that. I just know a little bit, but yeah, I'm not you.
I mean, I'm to myself. I did just see a lot of violence and see a lot of like the lack of government help. That divide between the people and the government, regardless of whether we have Democrats or Republicans running it, there hasn't been a connection of people without labels. You know what I'm saying?
So if you're comparing New York and Chicago, or even London, in the separation of peoples and races, would you say there's a larger divide in Chicago in terms of the white and the black interaction?
I would say in like blue cities or main cities, that divide is more discreet.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. Like in comparing New York and Chicago, you can't really. I guess like when you go to somewhere like Ohio, like south of Ohio, you know if someone's being racist towards you. It's clear as day.
Mm-hmm.
But in Chicago, or like big huge cities, you don't know that. And I'd say in London, I didn't feel any of that, especially where we lived.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
All that.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. And now it's like in the state of America, people aren't afraid to be racist. It's just like that's insane to say, but people don't give a shit. Really, they don't. They have no shame, and they're almost proud. Like we saw it in the Capitol building. They're proud to be these just a bunch of dicks, really, dude. Like these are horrible human beings
Mm-hmm.
that have no respect for anything or anybody except for their own core beliefs and self values, which are totally like opposite of reality. They live in a dreamland of hate and selfishness, and it's just insane. And I think that music really, especially music in recent years, has really kind of been, I mean, it's always been a great platform. You look back to the Marvin Gayes of the world and people like that have been talking about the same shit since forever, really.
Yeah.
But like even now, so you have a lot of artists that are really voicing their opinions through their music, through their songs, and not even subtly. It's just like they're just boom, throw it in your face, which is like some people are like, oh, the whole thing, like don't throw this in my face, even TV and movies, like, oh, I know, I see what you're doing there. But like I think some of it's necessary, really, because it's used as a ploy to fight back against these white supremacists and crazy Trumpers and stuff like that. Um, and I just think that what are your thoughts on music being like a platform to combat that?
I think it's always been a great platform.
Mm-hmm.
Over with social media, I just feel like that power is kind of taken away from it because it's just so easy to like get a word from somebody, whether their word is valuable or not. But one album that comes to mind, I've written like 2 or 3 NYU essays on it, is "To Pimp a Butterfly" by Kendrick Lamar. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's one of the best albums we have in our age between 20s and 30s that addresses these issues strategically. And a lot of racist people listen to hip hop, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, because they don't. So that's the thing, man. Like, I think a lot of the times, at least in our generation, people don't actively listen to the songs. Meaning they're hearing the beats, they're like getting rowdy, whatever, but they're not hearing what the people are saying. Like, I was so appalled. I'm sorry, but just one more thought is like I was so appalled that Damn won the Pulitzer Prize and they like Pimp a Butterfly didn't get the same recognition as Damn, when I think it's better as an album. I don't know. That's just my
Like from what I've noticed, a lot of racist people, they listen to those like deep rappers, but they don't listen to them. Like the situations those rappers speak about are the situations that they don't believe exist. Which I don't know. Like, should we still depend on music to be a tool in educating people? Because the way I feel about racism is, I mean, you're not born racist. You're taught it
thought. Mm-hmm.
by your parents, grandparents, family members. So I just think understanding those people and kind of like, but we can't ignore them at the same time because some of those people have power over us.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a double-edged sword.
No, I feel you with that, and obviously, like thinking about how music can like impact the different kind of ways we conversate, the different ways we talk about different issues, social issues, economic issues, and then also just talk about like our stories, our lived experiences and stuff. You know, you had Bob Dylan, you know, one of the greats. You know, he was someone who was doing that a lot, who was talking through his music about the things that he saw, his lived experience and what he wanted to see change. And you know, obviously, with the way music is today, you see so many like. I'm curious, like from your point of view, not just like on a socioeconomic kind of like mindset, but also just like in making music, like what's been going on recently over the last like few years, and like a lot of people saying that you know the rap scene isn't what it used to be, the you know the music isn't what it used to be. A lot of individuals are painted, right? Rappers are painted certain ways, and sometimes even looked down upon because of the lyrics of their songs and things like that. And I'm like, you know, there's so much meaning into what these artists are saying, even deep down, even if you can't connect. And I'm not gonna be able to connect with everything that you know another individual puts out there, but I can listen to it and I can understand it and I can respond to it in a meaningful way. And I think those kind of like conversations are not happening anymore. You know, music used to be something that like really music, dance, entertainment, something that brought people together. Now it's like kind of like a divide and like, well, it's you know the you know like Hollywood's a divide from this community and that community. It's like I'm curious, like your thought on like where music stands as kind of like a force to bring people together, bring change, talk about issues like racism, injustice, brutality, stuff like that. And where do you think it needs to go, especially with the new group of artists from, you know, especially hot pocket areas like New York and Chicago and bigger cities in the inner city? What would you want to see in music, in not just music production, but also in these artists like over the next, you know, decade or so?
I just think artists should be themselves and tell their own stories. That's one thing. When like older people do talk about it, that's what they do mean. Like the rappers aren't real about the music. I mean, there are a lot are, and some you can't really tell. But if artists just be themselves, I think it'll do a lot better, like the industry,
Mm-hmm.
because it'll help kids want to be themselves more and other people. I remember Ti said, if you wanted to change the content of rappers' music, you have to change the environment in which they're raised. So if rappers were raised in that, they should talk about it. If they weren't, they shouldn't really talk about it.
So, you know, piggybacking on that, how do you feel about like a Drake talking about just random stuff that's like, okay, bro, you're fucking Jewish and you know, from Toronto. Not saying Toronto, Canada doesn't have, I'm sure has some sort of gang violence and stuff like that, or whatever the hell you want to talk about. But I don't think he came from like a bad childhood. Homeboy was on Degrassi making money when he was a teen. So, you know, I don't think that, like, how do you feel about him, you know, trying to get all macho man and talking about stuff like that? Like, how do you feel about artists like that? Not to say, not to, I like Drake too. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like,
Yo, he's cooking
like,
it up in the studios right now, dude.
Like my
he wants,
my
he's
dad
gonna
even
release some
pointing it
shit.
out. He's like, "Why is this full like gunshots and shit in the songs?" Like he's definitely never, you know, or probably who knows, maybe, but like I doubt it. He's not like a Chief Keef or, you know, someone like that.
I'm just gonna scapegoat this question. I don't know him personally.
Plead the fifth. That's fair. That's fair.
He doesn't want to hate on him. He doesn't want to hate on him.
That's fair.
You know,
I'm
you
not
never know.
hating.
Drake
I'm not
might
hating.
watch
I'm
this.
just using him as an example, bro. I love Drake.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love
No,
Drake?
we love his music. I mean, we did it. We're doing a tournament on his top songs. The reason we picked him first, because he's probably one of the most influential artists of our decade, our time. And I kind of like, it's interesting because he does. He's from Canada. He's not from, you know, he doesn't have that same maybe lived experience as other Black rappers. But, you know, he might know some things. He may, you know, have some friends that have gone through some things in that kind of relationship. So, you know, I guess that's probably where he gets all that juice from, honestly. And also probably his personal life and shit. Like he's got a lot of stuff in his personal life. So I feel like that's probably where he gets his stuff. I feel like that's where musicians get their stuff. Jamo, I don't know where you get kind of like you draw your inspiration. Is it more like personal? Is it like your lived experience? Is it your surroundings? Like you were talking about your environment, your friends, like how do you, like what keeps you going in continuing producing music?
I'll just say from like personal life. As of lately, it hasn't been a lot of that due to COVID, but and then it kind of like just motivation. If I tell myself I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. And like with the Drake situation, there are authors who tell stories about things they haven't seen, things they haven't been through, and they do a great job of doing it. And I think that's a different level. And some of these rappers nowadays aren't at that level to where they can do that.
So who is on that level?
Drake, sure.
Okay, give me 5. So Drake.
Ooh, Rick Ross.
Yup.
To his past. I used to be Jordan Lucas. I don't like him anymore.
No.
That dude is corny.
Too corny.
I still throw him in there. I had to think. I mainly listen to real artists. Kendrick can tell stories.
Yeah.
Who else? Good storyteller. Eminem. I'll give it to him.
I mean, yeah.
Classic.
What did you think of his new Music to Be Murdered by 2.0 or whatever he titled it?
This is not for me. I'm not in the mood to listen to him right
now. Yeah.
Like I love him as a rapper. Like I appreciate what he can do with words, but it's just sometimes I just don't want to listen to it. You know?
Yeah.
Like
Do you think that also has to do with his voice being just like older now and it's not as entertaining as the Slim Shady was? Or even like his raw, music, for instance, like Sing for the Moment or Stan or those just sounds raw. Like now he kind of mix in like the modern day beats, which is cool. I think you get acclimate fine with that. But his voice is just off, man. Like I just can't. I don't know. Something just isn't there, and I kind of feel what you're saying.
I think it's the beats with his voice.
The
Like him
beats.
trying to like do the modern trap and the pop.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that from him.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Pop beats. But like, I mean, he seems to be having fun doing it. So I mean,
Yeah.
hey, Mr. Magic,
I feel you. I feel you. Well, now we're on the topic of Drake. I want to hear your thoughts on I'm gonna share this screen real quick with you guys. So this is the Drake bracket that we had. So let me see how you would vote here, Jamo. So Crew Love landed. What you doing?
Crew Love.
Okay. Passion Fruit, Know Yourself.
I go Know Yourself.
One Dance, Jumpman.
Oh, that's a tough
one.
Yeah. Jumpman.
Okay. Best I Ever Had. Hold on, we're going home.
Definitely best I ever had.
You said definitely. That was a tough one.
I love Hold On, We're Going Home, bro. But it's super corny for sure. Hotline Bling or Worst Behavior.
I'd say Hotline Bling.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when that first came out? Nobody talking about it.
Yeah, it was a song, man.
Back to Back came out at the same time as that. No one was
talking about it. Back to Back is good though. That was that thing was slapping for sure. Pound Cake, hell yeah, fucking right. Which is like such a tough
Pound Cake
first rounder.
I'll go Pound Cake for that one.
Okay. And then Get It Together, Marvin's Room.
Definitely Marvin's Room.
Over or Can't Take a Joke?
Over.
Okay, so Over or Marvin's Room?
Marvin's Room.
Pound Cake or Worst Behavior? Or do you say Hotline Bling? Pound Cake or Hotline Bling?
Hotline Bling.
Best I Ever Had or Jumpman?
Best I Ever Had.
And then Know Yourself or Crew Love?
Crew Love.
Okay, Crew Love or you said Best I Ever Had, right? Best I Ever Had.
Mm-hmm.
I would have went Crew Love there.
Okay. Hotline Bling or
Marvin's Room.
Marvin's Room.
Definitely Marvin's Room.
Okay. Marvin's Room or Crew Love?
100% Marvin's Room.
Okay, so
Marvin's Room. I love this. I mean, I think it's a great song. I think I had a similar top four. I think the only difference is I had Marvin's Room, I had Pound Cake, and then I had Best I Ever Had, and I think I had Passion Fruit. That's what I had, if I can recall. Something like that.
Yeah. This was like what happened in the voting for everybody. So the consensus said Best I Ever Had is Drake's best song, which is like I don't agree at all with this.
It's not the best he ever had.
Granted, there's some songs on here. There's some songs that aren't on here on this list. You would need a bigger, like maybe a 32 song tournament. Like 30 for 30 is one of my favorite Drake songs because it's just him chilling on a freestyle, which is sick. Practice, The Ride, Too Much. There's like countless. Drake has his library of music is insane. Like he has so many songs to choose from. But I think my favorite song of Drake's off this list is probably either pound cake or crew love would be my two favorite, because I'm loving the crew. But I also have, now that we're on this kind of tournament thing here, this is the new one. Give a little sneak peek. This is also, by the way, Kanye, is he still canceled from Chicago?
I don't think so. Me personally, I don't care about him at all.
Okay. He's gonna be single.
If you don't care,
now.
doesn't that mean he's canceled, bro?
He's about to be single, man. He's getting that divorce.
Yeah.
Which is like
cooking up that divorce.
Could have called that one, but
I don't know, dude. I don't know if I could have called that one, bro. I don't know if I feel like it was they were together for like a decent amount of time, and
yeah, but like
there were so many
dealing
issues
with that
already,
dude, bro. Dealing with that fucking guy.
Oh, no doubt. But they have so much money. They got a lot of fame. I think
Kids.
it isn't Keeping Up with the Kardashians like ending or something. So it's like kind of ironic that it's going to be at the same time. But
this is the last season, I believe.
Yeah. So I wonder if that had something to do with it. If maybe like it was like a package deal, like until we're done with the show, and then we'll get ready.
He wasn't even on the show, like rarely.
That's true. He's barely on the show. So I don't know, dude. I thought it could have worked possibly just because they've been together through like Kanye's up and downs, and it's just weird, like kind of how it is now, that this was kind of what caused it. I wonder if it was like because they actually had to spend time together because of COVID. They actually had to hang out and talk to each other, and they realized, damn, we don't really fuck with each other, you know? So I'm just curious how shit went down.
I mean, look, Kanye is a pioneer in a lot of ways for different things, but like, imagine living with that dude, bro. Like, just like every day hearing outlandish comments and things that you're just like, the human mind probably doesn't comprehend. You're like, what the fuck?
It comprehended.
Yeah. But
this big ass TV.
this is
watching the fight on his TV. It's hilarious, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's a genius. I mean, he is in many ways. I mean, he's an entrepreneurial guru.
Yeah,
and he's made so much money off people, and good for him from doing that.
If you listen to his interview with Joe Rogan, he talks a lot about his vision for the future, what he envisions for the future, I should say. A lot of it makes sense, and it's a lot of practical things that, okay, this is actually cool, like teaching cultivation class, so people learn how to make their own crops and food, because the way our environment's going, a couple generations from now, maybe not even a couple, we're gonna have to deal with extreme climates, and everyone's gonna need to fend for themselves eventually. And I think that's inevitable. You could only slow it down now, but the way modern society has been built and how our leaders think and their values, they value money, greed, and wealth more than they value human life, clearly, as well as the state of our planet. I just don't really give a shit, and that also has to do with a lot of other factors. But bottom line, that's the root of all evil is money, and probably offend a lot of people here, but religion, organized religion as well. Not as well, organized religion. They're the two roots of all evil. Wars are fought over money and religion. Differences in politics, especially American politics, and politics in the Middle East, especially religion, makes a lot of conflicting things. Environment, religion, because people don't want to believe in climate change, or they don't even believe if there's a fucking climate. They believe that God's doing this thing for a reason, to test us or whatever.
Stop being culturally woke, Pete.
See, I don't even know what that. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I'm awake. I'm woke. I'm awake right now. I'm on this.
I'm awake. I can see the fucking hurricane. I can see the burning.
That's the thing,
the trees. I'm awake.
I think we're gonna go down this path right now in this conversation, and I really don't care because I think it's okay. Um, we all, I think we all became friends and gravitated toward one another at NYU. Keep slamming that cup, bro.
Yeah, no, it's
Touchdown.
this
He's like,
table, dude. It's not the cup, it's the
I
table. The
know. I'm
table's
just
very
messing.
wobbly. It's a very
I'm just
wobbly
messing.
table.
Wobbly table. Curb your enthusiasm, everybody.
Curb your enthusiasm,
Watch
bro. I have one of
the
those
most recent
here. You
season,
know,
wobbly tables at Mocha
great at the
Joe's.
hands. That's the hand
Shout out Mocha Joe's.
sanitizer episode, right? Isn't that the hand sanitizer episode? That shit was hilarious.
Possibly, yeah.
So
Yes,
funny.
Mocha Joe's wobbly tables.
Mocha Joe's.
But I think that, I mean, Jamo, you could speak on this too. I'd be happy to hear your thoughts. I mean, for me personally, I came from a very, say whatever you want, say whatever's on your mind, speak for yourself, voice your own opinions. Don't be afraid of anybody judging you or whatever. Got to NYU, realized a lot of things I used to say, how I spoke, how I talked, my thoughts and outlook on life was completely different than a lot of freaking people at NYU. And that's just to say that I think I really was thrown into the PC culture, the woke culture, the sensitive culture, I think is a good word to use too. Like I even got, for instance, I got yelled at for saying Beyonce is not a good artist. I think she's a great act and a brand, but I don't think she's a good musical artist, like compared to an Alicia Keys or Rihanna. I like Beyonce. Not saying I don't. I'm just saying that's just my thought process, how I think. But I got yelled at by a group of gays, getting offended the holy hell out of them because I just didn't like Queen Bee, and but it was funny because I know how to talk to them.
I think I remember
I've learned.
that, bro.
Yeah, you were there. I know how to talk to these people. You know what I'm saying? And I love them. I love everybody the same way, except for the people that have walked up to the Capitol. Those type of folks I have no respect for, or terrorists and shit, whatever. There's a long list of people I don't like and don't care for. But the LGBTQ community, the PC community, the people at NYU, people that are different, we're all the fucking same. We're all human at the end of the day. So there's no judging there. But the people that aren't human, like I said, the aliens who marched on the Capitol. But yeah, so just stuff like that. So I don't know, man. How did you adjust, or maybe not even adjusted, just kind of
not even adjust, yeah, just
right?
dealt with
Just
it.
kind of dealt with, because behind closed doors, oh my God, we would have been, it would be a mass exodus of us.
Dude, all the shit talking, bro. All the shit talking. Like when we were together, just like about this type of shit,
Yeah, if someone put a
Jam,
recorder device in our room, we would be crucified.
Oh no. Especially when I'm on Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I like I have adjusted though. I mean, I didn't really want to be like two-faced.
Yeah.
So I just be quiet a lot more and just listen.
Listen. Yeah.
Learn something.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great way to look at it. I think that's what I did as well. I had to hold my tongue a lot. Which is fine, because I think that I was able to actually gain more knowledge than the other people, because the other people were around the same type of mind, and they really just kind of balanced each other out, bounced off one another, had the same similar thoughts, some similar motivations and outlook on life. Whereas I was not completely different, but I mean, I agree with some things, but a lot of things I just did not agree with.
Yeah.
And you got to know when to pick your battles. You got to know who your audience is. And I don't think that picking a battle with someone that's just gonna like not want to listen to you or hear you out is kind of pointless, which I learned. So like Jamo said, it's better to just keep to yourself more, and just kind of just listen and hear their thoughts. Maybe you agree with some of the things, cool, then you could apply that to your own life, your own thoughts, your own outlook on different situations. But at the end of the day, like, for sure, I mean, if I was like, and it's just crazy because I saw both sides of it. I've been to like state universities in a frat house I've stayed at, and it's like, holy shit, if these people were at NYU saying these things, they would be killed. Or if these people at NYU were at this place, they would be bullied, they would be shit on, they would be horrible. So it's just, that's just.
Sorry, bro. Is that the glass? Is it making that big of a noise?
Yeah, dude, it's like a bomb, bro.
Jamo, is it really that big of a noise? It's because it's a glass table, but you know, and like I'm trying to settle it down. Glass on glass. It's just a violent, you know, it's like us and NYU kids, violent interaction, you know.
Yeah.
It just doesn't go together. No, we love NYU. We love. I mean, our time there is amazing, and the people were great too. It's just you have those moments where you just gotta like shut your mouth and kind of like take everything in and just like listen and like learn and not say anything because you don't want to piss anybody off. You don't want to cause an argument. And we had friends who liked doing that, who like causing shit and like getting into fights. And like, that's not me. And that's not what I like doing. So in those circumstances, I want to get like away from the conflict as much as possible and not like stir it up. And that can be regards to anything, honestly. And like, I feel like that's just the culture. Like it's a kind of a group think. And not just NYU, I'm sure NYU is nothing different than other college campuses in that regard. I mean, a lot of colleges are very similar where you have a group think, a way of thinking, kind of like a mainstream way of looking at life. And like, if you kind of if you're kind of a little deviant off of that a certain way, or you don't completely agree with something or don't see 100%, like you can say that. That's kind of a good thing. Like we all have our own thoughts and opinions. We shouldn't be coming at someone for having a slightly different point of view. And yeah, if someone's completely wrong on something and they're the opposite direction, maybe you show them the right way. But at the end of the day, you hug each other and you walk different directions. Like there's no point in trying to like stir up these conflicts at such a young age. We haven't even seen life yet. It hasn't even hit us yet, you know? And, since Jamo, since you're there now at school, like I know you were saying social life's kind of been like non-existent, because I'm sure it is for any college student like right now during COVID. Like what are things happening with NYU, and like what are you doing, and like how are you like talking to people and doing classes and stuff like that?
Well, before COVID, I wasn't really talking to people. I think it was school online. I'm not there now, but like it's hard like asking somebody, hey, can we talk after class or whatever about the assignment, because you can't really do that in online lectures. I met some like friends last semester through online, but like just with COVID going on, it really shows you like who's really real with you and all of that. And
yeah,
my experience at NYU, I definitely just don't talk. Come up, I don't have the time. I'm not about to go back and forth with a white person about what Black people go through.
That's the worst.
Oh my God, dude. Oh fuck.
Jamo, really get into that. Get into that, because you can speak on it better than we can. But get into that shit, because that's annoying, and we see that from afar, and we get heated. So, tell us how you feel when those interactions happen, man. Do you want to like just get out there and just fucking just get back at these people, or what's going through your head?
It's just they don't know any better. You're from nowhere. You don't know anything about what happens in real cities with Black people, and even some Black people at NYU. I have to think how I'm gonna say this.
I can say it for you.
Yeah,
because I know.
Yeah, like the Black people from the suburbs. Dude, like those type of people. No, you can't tell me either, buddy. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah, I know who you're talking about. Some of the who's.
Oh no, not him.
No, they're cool.
Yeah, they're
cool.
Like
I
can't relate to them as
Yeah, no, totally.
I know. I mean, I think I know who you're talking about too, but I don't think you mean him. I think you mean some like just in general. Like,
I didn't mean him.
yeah,
He didn't mean him. I'm just saying as an example.
yeah,
That's the board.
yeah.
As example. Yeah, dude. But no, that's another thing too, because I think it's good in a way to have numerous races, religions, creeds, backgrounds all fight for one social injustice. If we're on the topic of, you know, racism towards Black people and just like growing up in the inner cities, whatever, I think it's good to have an outside perspective, like a white person, Asian person, whatever type of person. But they also need to know their place and not act like they actually experience these things,
Definitely.
these situations. But
100%.
just be supportive as a third party support, help, be there, whatever. If you're doing a rally, whatever, be there. Like I went in the BLM protest here. I went with a bunch of friends and stuff like that with like a lot of my Black friends, and I was just there in support, being there for my friends. That's how I thought about it. And obviously, I'm also, against the fucking racism in America. But I wasn't out there actively talking about how I was a fucking experienced this shit all my life, because I have not. I've seen it, but I have not experienced it personally to myself. So I have no right to. Now I have no right to anything at that point, really. But I found it really interesting because this was on Hollywood Boulevard. We like shut down the whole street, closed it off with cars, and got in a circle in the middle. And one guy turns to me. He's like, why are you here today, man? I'm like, I'm just here in support of our friends and all you and everybody here, man. Like, this is like a cause that I really think needs to be addressed. Yada yada yada. He's like, well, I never thought I'd see the day when I would see somebody like you among us here in support of us. I'm like, damn, like that shit hit me hard. I was like, wow, like that's really how people think and like they're feeling to the core, like wow, like they never thought that you'd support from white people, from Asian people, from whatever the hell. And I'm like, damn, like and I told him, like, I'm not even like, I'm just here, bro. I'm just a dude here helping a cause that I think is I'm not trying to like get this for Instagram. I'm not trying to do anything like that. I'm not trying to be like, that's another problem too. People like want the clout. Oh, I said link in bio, BLM. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Get out of here. Like, who are you, dude? Like
the SJWs of America.
Because I like to tick and talk. Like, dude.
Yeah. Look, if they think that's what's good, maybe they should ask somebody like what they should do. If that's what their friends tell them to do, who are actually Black and who've experienced these things, like that's one thing. But it's like for every, I think the problem is like when you get very like woke, white people who kind of like want to know what's up, like what's going on, and they start leading this shit. They start like, you know what I mean? They start a lot of the people that were, for example, looting and making things, stirring up more conflict, were not Black. None of them were, probably. And it's like, that's kind of the situation you put yourself in, because you're just hurting the movement if you're not, it's not your job to lead it. It's your job to be there and support as like a third party person and not completely take over the message, but just continue to spread the message. And that's about, like knowing your place. Like knowing your place. That's all that is, and just like it would be for me to lead that, because I don't have that same experience, but I can sure as hell, walk alongside my friends who've been through that and show them support. And that's really what it's about. And so I feel like that is kind of like, that's the thing though, right? It's like, how does society like move from here though? We had these protests in the summer. Now you have, this nonsense that we saw this past week in the Capitol. That's just straight terrorism. There's no other words for it. They tried to commit a diet coup on our country, where they wanted to change the future of this country for the next 4 years through pressure. And, it's like, they went to a government building. They could have hurt lawmakers and people. And it's like, at what point is it like where we're so far gone in this country that there is no return, that this is just what it is. And at the same time, you got people on that side, 70% of them are like, not his fault, not his fault. This has happened. Or 70% blame Joe Biden, for this. I mean, it's like, at what point are we just going to be like, it's just, there is no like bringing them over and trying to talk to them nice. Like at some point it's like, just get the shit done. Let's tackle these issues. And if they want to keep, whining and complaining at the extreme about every little thing you do, then why even fucking care? It's like a waste of time, and there's no time bringing. Do you guys see like a chance, like a way to bring these people in? These people that were there, that were rioting, that were terrorists, destroying our, like, that was our foundation. That's our foundation of what America is, the Capitol building. That is where many people went to go serve. There's culture there. There's, that's patriotism in those halls, and they destroyed it. And all in the name of what? Like, depends on what you ask different people, but it seems pretty clear to me: white pride, nationalism, a desire to take back what they think is rightfully theirs at the order of their master. And it's like, can you ever truly get those people to come on board and like just work together and unify? If they don't want to unify, if they want to blame what they just saw on things that had nothing to do with it.
It's mind-boggling.
It's been mind-boggling for 4 years.
I can't imagine thinking like that, I didn't think it was that deep for them to have to do that, especially when like you're the ones who aren't really as affected by the situation. I remember like just seeing on Twitter, they always bring up like whole cities were burned down during a protest. Like, bro, which city was burned down? And they'll name a lot of cities, and then businesses they can't name, businesses that they don't care about, and they just use these as political points. And it's just, bro, like, could you just look at things from outside of your party? Like, take the partisanship out and just look at these. You're telling me what happens is okay. And another thing, did you guys hear about, like, right after George Floyd, it was like an NYU frat group chat? Like, it was like an Asian frat group.
No.
I heard something about this. I did.
Happened? Damn, I graduated and I'm out the loop. What happened?
We out the loop, bro.
Yeah.
But it was it was Asians in the group chat. It was like, one guy was like, should we care about this? Like the George Floyd. I mean, it's a rude question, but I mean, he was confused. It is what it is. And then the one guy, I almost said his name. He was like, no, we shouldn't. They're never there for us and all of this. And like, he was just saying some racist, crazy stuff. He sat next to me in class, in one of my classes.
Really?
It was crazy. He was writing. He used to write poems about how he couldn't get women, and he used to cry and play violin.
Jesus.
Oh my God! I want to
put this kid on blast.
I would love to
expose him, please.
Like,
someone already did. Apparently, probably got kicked out of NYU.
I mean, I could have done that. But
he's a bigger man.
Oh wait, so he's still there? Like, he's still at the school and shit? Like, nothing happened?
I know he got kicked out the frat.
Oh, okay. Because I saw something like this, and I thought that person got suspended. Maybe it was another situation at NYU like this.
And not to generalize, but that's most of the kids in frats at NYU playing violins.
Right next to him.
About how they.
That's factual, bro.
That's insane how he said next to you, dude. And that's crazy. How did you feel like sitting next to this clown?
I thought it was funny. You can't even get women. Lame, buddy.
You know what's funny? You know how we say, shit. Oh, let's go get some girls, let's get women. I feel like a lot of people would take that as, oh, what are you objectifying us? You're gonna get us, like, buy us and purchase us. Like, that's just how like guys talk. It kind of sucks, it's just like like, don't they say let's go get a dude, get a guy? Like, I feel like they say that too, right?
I feel like they do, but I mean, we know they do. We've seen them say that. I mean, so it's It's just like, and we know they do. So I don't know what.
I need to get a guy. Pee.
But everything is all, you know, like you got to be careful. You just got, and we won't. And that's the thing. Even on here, we're like holding that shit back. Like we're kind of like 30% in.
Bro, I would say if you listen, listen.
No, but we're also not in the opportunity zone to really go like to be like in those circumstances anymore because we're not there. But it's like I feel like it's just I don't know. I just feel like there's like a disconnect, bro. There's like a disconnect between men and women in general and how we talk. And we should have like talk about Kanye talking about, you know, a course in school for cultivation. We should have we should have a cult of personality class. We should have a class of like where we're just like men and women just talking about how they talk, gender roles, stuff like that. That probably would be a problem
dude,
too.
I worked for a company where I was the only straight dude, and it was like 100 some women, and then like a few gay guys here and there, and I was the only straight dude. So the running joke was like, "Oh, we have a gentleman in the office."
A gentleman?
Yeah.
They called you a gentleman, bro?
Yeah.
You have a cigar and drink some
but like
whiskey
that's
every
cool
day.
because I personally like it. I would much rather hang out with girls than go out with girls. It's a good time, you know.
Oh, of course. That's like a no-brainer though. That's everyone. I think everyone would.
And it's like, yeah, but not everybody knows how to like hang with girls and be respectful to women.
Yeah.
And you know, treat them with respect because they're just like, and like the thing about us, especially on this show, is we could really say what we want. That's the whole point of this show. You shouldn't have to hold back. Obviously, in certain things, you should hold back in general, no matter where you are, unless you're behind closed doors, right? But I think that the difference between us three, even right now, is that we're able to articulate our answers more than like talking out of our ass and saying crazy ass shit, which is like gonna happen from time to time. But at least we could still be articulate in our answers and really give an educational response and reasoning as to why we think a certain way, as opposed to some people on certain shows, certain personalities on social media and Instagram. It's really dumbing down America, dumbing down people, how we think, how we talk, how we act, how we should be alive in this human existence that we're currently in. And it's just like a shame because we're really losing out on a lot of knowledge and a lot of the ways we perceive success, or we perceive, you know, what's cool, or what's, you know, how to become notable, get some notoriety. And it's like a lot of times it's through being a dumbass, and like we're glorifying dumbasses out here, man. Like so many people on the internet today, on TikTok, on social media, like that are influencers, that are deemed celebrities, the modern celebrity, are idiots. Yeah, they're funny. Ha ha ha. We laugh at you jumping off a fucking roof into a pool and belly flopping. Parkouring, whatever. Like that's funny. Or like talking shit on Call of Duty. Like that's funny. I do the same thing. But like, why does that make you famous? You know, I just don't understand it. Like, why does that make you special? Why is that a talent that people are attracted to? And it's just, and that even goes down to like relationships, like how people think men and women should coexist. You know, you have like the way people talk, like we were just saying, is that, oh, I need to catch a body tonight. Like, catch a body? What are you, a coroner? Gonna catch a body? Like, what? Like, just the way, like, slang, and like, it's just so, like, I don't know, man. It's just so kind of cringy a lot of the times. And I'm probably the outlier right now saying these things. People are like, oh, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I love Instagram, I love TikTok, I love all this stuff. I'm like, go ahead and love it, but don't bring it into the reality of life and have it supersede actual intellectual.
Yeah, don't make it
everything. People with an actual valid opinion, and don't make it everything. Exactly, don't make it everything. Don't make it everything. Don't make it reality. Really, at the end of the day. But Jamo, I actually had a question for you, dude, that I wanted to get to before I let you go, bro. I wanted to talk about U.S. Again versus Europe, and kind of, you know, living in London. Did it change your mindset on things, outlook on life? Just like, what's your experience with that? Really, is what I'm trying to get at.
I've definitely felt like personally, I've been treated better by Londoners than Americans. And Like, it's just London was just so chill.
Mm-hmm.
They do have their problems that, like, when I eventually do move down there permanently, I'll figure out.
Is that
like,
that's your plan?
yes, I'm leaving this country, but it's not like
I'll go with you. Let's go. Let's get a flat, dude. Let's do it. I love London.
like the people here. I think like with the political divide, people just can't admit that they're wrong sometimes. Like, I mean, that's how you get smarter. That's how you gain new information, when you can acknowledge that you aren't educated on something, and you can acknowledge that you didn't really know what you thought you knew. People can't do that here. And then things that aren't that big of deals become big deals. Like, I love the LGBTQ. I think what they're doing is good, but nitpicking it derails progress.
Agreed.
And like the same Black community too, nitpicking everything, that's just gonna slow us down.
So when you say nitpicking, like in a general sense, or like, is there a certain example you could give?
I have an example. Have you seen Endgame, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Avengers Endgame.
Remember the scene where Captain America was in the circle with those group of people?
Yes.
And one of the guys, it was Anthony or Joe Russo, was one of them. He was talking about how he had a date with a guy, and they were talking about like how they felt about the thing. And it was subtle. You didn't even peep it. Like the LGBTQ had a problem with the representation of that, and like making it. They were like, that's not that big of a deal. You could have just left that out.
It just like focuses on the little things they're saying, right? Like just random shit. Like, no, I know what you're saying now. You're basically saying like it's those little like it's focusing on those like indiscrepancies, those little things in like media and stuff like that that like have no value to the changing anybody's lives or perceptions of anything. And you focus all the attention on that, and then it hurts like the progress because people start saying like you just want to cancel people, you just want to like get in the way of. So I think that's what you're trying to say, if I'm not mistaken.
Because I think for it to go unnoticed in that movie was a good thing. It kind of just showed.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Like, I don't remember that scene. No. You feel? Yeah. I just remember when all the women were together. I remember that was the one thing. Like, at the end, when all the female superheroes were together and they were, like, coming out and then everyone cheered and stuff. And it was, like, a group of them. And, like, I think Marvel like marketed it like that, like women power and stuff like that. Like that stuff, I remember that happening, and that was also a thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like when they came out of the holes, like in the different dimensions and stuff. That was like a big deal. And then I remember that and being like, all right, like, okay, that's cool, I guess. And like, I don't remember the other instance that you were speaking of though. It was that movie. Yeah.
You know what's
in that movie?
Really, I gotta check that out, dude. But just to kind of piggyback on that is like a lot of the new shows, particularly like Industry. Did you watch TJ? Lovecraft Country,
which I need to watch.
A lot of movies too, dude. They're really trying to like, because Hollywood is like, I think there's like a crusade going on in Hollywood for these, to really like throw the LGBTQ values, whatever, in your face, minority values in your face, whether it's Latino, Asian, Black, whatever, in your face. I don't care. Like, I don't have a problem with it. But I think that when you have, like, there's a scene in Lovecraft, a gay sex scene, the guy literally spits in his hand and like rubs his shit and then fucking goes ham in this guy's ass. Sorry for the explicit content here. It's like, is that really necessary? Like, I know what happens behind closed doors with gay men. Do I have to see the guys getting super graphic? And like, you could have like, I don't care, a gay kissing scene, a gay sex scene. That shit was like practically porn, bro. I'm like watching you spin his hands and your dude's asshole. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What the hell? You know?
It's like that. It's like it reminds me of Family Guy, that episode where like he's in charge of Fox or whatever, and he decides to like put on certain stuff on TV and like what stuff should not be allowed, like PG and all that shit. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, dude. I mean, this is not just, and like even continuing this is like, I don't think it's necessary to have some sex scenes I see on TV with a man and a woman, you know. So I'm not just saying about the gay people, the lesbian, whatever the hell. It's like sometimes I'm like I could just go fucking like, is this scene really necessary for the overall value of the show? Like, I just go with fucking Pornhub or some shit, you know. Like, you don't need this is like not necessary. And I think that it's weird because they're trying to keep the restrictions and the what's the word I'm looking for, the censorship alive, but they're making a lot of things more explicit at the same time, which is weird to me, you know. I don't understand that, because the explicit stuff is like when they want to throw shit in your face, and I'm like, okay, we get it already, but at the same time they're trying to censor other things. Find a balance, you know, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. And like,
it's this mob crusade though, like you're talking about, like going on, like, you know, there's that one movie, like if they're trying to just be like liberal or progressive, like the real way you do that is by telling stories of people who go through shit. Like, that's what it is. Like, if you really want to be with the times, like, make a movie, make a film dedicated to the struggles of Black people, dedicated to the struggles of a community or a small town, something like that. It reminds me of like Dark Water, that Mark Ruffalo movie, right? He's kind of like an activist too, but he was in this movie where it was like, basically the film was about like the problematic, like something in the town, one of these small towns in Ohio, with like really shitty water, chemicals everywhere, and the environment getting polluted and everything. And you can tell there's like an activist background to it, but there's no like, you don't get any blowback, because you're telling a story and you're being cool about it, and you're like educating people, and people like learn from it, and like they can connect and they can resonate in those Midwestern towns. Like, those are the kind of ways you can really be progressive if Hollywood is aiming at that. But they're just aiming at this like faux liberalism of like being like in the moment and being culturally correct. It's kind of like the new word, culturally correct, is like making sure everything you do fits perfectly and is perfectly marketable to people of all backgrounds. Like, instead, just focus on the shit. Like, focus on the issues of gay rights. Like, if you want to make talk about it, make a movie on it, right? About the 60s, like they did with Milk, like shit like that. That's the stuff that really like educates people and makes people like really care about stuff, not this kind of faux wokeness, you know?
What I can't wrap my head around, like, you talking about advocating for gayness. Why do fucking why in the hell would someone give a shit? Like, why is that a thing? Why was that ever a thing? Man and a man, woman and a woman having a relationship. Why was that ever a thing that was hated on?
Like, I don't get
it doesn't affect you.
Right. It doesn't affect anybody at all except that couple.
Yeah.
Especially like he struggled so much to get the gay rights marriage figured out. Like,
voting.
What does it have to do with you? Like, cause you just let people be people and do what they do. Like, they aren't hurting anybody. Like, even if it goes against your religious values, like, not everyone.
But that's where it stems from, right? Is religion, exactly. Essentially. And I'm very, now at this particular moment, I'm starting to get a little more like wary of the divisions of religion and stuff. But I do think it's good to have faith, to have, if you want to have God in your life, like those are good. There's nothing wrong about that.
The religion is organized religion.
Exactly. It's the practice and then letting it entrench your whole like values and everything. Like, it's love thy neighbor until your neighbor's gay. Like, it's like, at what point does it like become where you are the biggest hypocrite and you're just exploiting the devious things in your religion for pain, for negativity to others? That's not what religion's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be like connecting people together. That's not what it is. And it causes these divides that aren't like equal sides divides. Like, something that I always get a little bit, I see so much, is like when somebody does something wrong, right? Like these it's like they try to do like an equal sides thing. Like, while it was this person's fault, it may have also been their fault. Like, nah, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just like racism being racism. Sometimes it's just some dogs who want to keep the whiteness of America. That's it. Sometimes that's what it is. An extreme group of people who want to just do that, who know, half of them know that they lost an election, And they are, they just can't, they don't want to admit that. And that's it. And the other half, maybe they actually have fully believed in it and been entrenched in it. And now they just don't know what else to do. And you can feel sorry for them. It doesn't mean that they shouldn't go to prison for 30 years. It just means you're like, damn, like this is where we're at. And I feel like that's the thing. Like with religion, it's like it tears people now more than it does bring people together. And like really like, and when we talk about religion, we're talking about like these cultural things and not what the meaning is, not what the reasoning is for it. Like the ideas of like the commandments, like what does that mean? Like it means like you got to care for people, you got to respect people. And that's like non-existent now in Christianity with some people and very extreme religious, like right kind of people. And I just hope that we can move from that, but I don't know if that's possible,
Let me ask you this. So you mentioned earlier being more subtle about things, or using historical events, historical times to accurately depict how they were, why they were wrong, and allow the viewer to be like, okay, that's fucked up, whatever. I'm glad things are changing, or we should never get back to the way we were. Move on, progress. I think that's where progress is. Learning from history, learning from mistakes of the past, learning from the wrongness of the past, and not making those same mistakes again, and making sure those situations don't come to reality again. So there's this new show called Bridgerton. I don't know if you're familiar with it on Netflix.
I heard about
it. It's like the new thing. Everyone loves it, whatever. Essentially,
it's a new fad.
Essentially, they list it as a historical drama. Yet they have, and it takes place in like, 1700s maybe in England, with the royal family and all that shit, and like, just the upper class and the nobles of society. And back then it was like fucking white people ruled all the shit. That's how it was. I'm not saying that was right or wrong. It's just that's how the way it was. That's how it was. In this show, they have like, Asian ruling a household, Black ruling a household, Hispanic ruling a household, and they all connect. And they're saying it's a historical drama. I'm like, I think that's good to show to maybe younger generation, like Jamo, you're saying how you're raised racist. So show that to your kids. Show like that to your kids, to show like this is how it should be. It wasn't like this, but this is how it should be in reality, and how it hopefully will be in the next generations to come. But don't say it's a historical drama and show it to people like us that obviously know that's not accurate. It's not how it was, and try to paint it in a different way. I guess I'm trying to say. And I have a problem with it. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's a good show. But it's just like, I think a better way, instead of being, and that's like very unsubtle. It's not subtle at all. But being subtle in a way, like there's this new show from Steve McQueen who did 12 Years a Slave. He did this show. It's actually 7 mini movies. I forgot. I think it's called like Little Stories or something like that. I'll get you the name. It's really, really good. I think you guys should all watch it. There's this one episode I watched. It was about. It literally takes place one night at this party, and the whole show is based off of Jamaican immigrants to London, and this one is a party, and how like, at the end of the day, people just want to live their fucking lives. Let them live their lives, and want to be together. And then you have like these asshole fucking white people being racist, shouting racist shit, and it's just showing like that's how it is. And then there's this another episode of this Jamaican immigrant who became a police officer because his dad was killed by a white cop. So he wants to get into law enforcement to, rectify the wrongs of the law enforcement of the past and really, turn it into something positive. But then you have the non-cop Jamaican immigrants looking at him that like, oh, you're joining the enemy, this and that. So, and that even happens in modern society. We see black cops and people are like, why the fuck are you fighting with the enemy? I'm like, I don't think cops as a whole are necessarily I think it's like a lot of them, don't get me wrong, are corrupt. There's even cops that were involved with the whole Capitol March, bro. So like, shit like that. It's like, how are you gonna trust police officers and policemen that are meant to protect you, yet they're doing this racist shit? They're aligning themselves with racist ideals. They're killing fucking minorities all around the country, particularly black
A
people.
gold medalist was with
And
him.
it's like, I don't like police personally. I fucking, especially LAPD, man. Why do you need tanks and all this like artillery and armory larger than a small militia, bro? For what? To stop a dude robbing a liquor store? To stop a dude selling some weed? For what? You know, like you see like cops in LA particular, you'll get pulled over and then some guy, oh, let me search your car. Then like 10 more fucking cop cars come. What do you think the guy's gonna do? Freak the fuck out, right? He's gonna want to defend himself in some way. Like, even though he knows he didn't do anything wrong, you're on edge. You have adrenaline running because you have 10 cop cars pull up on you for nothing, bro. Maybe you had a dime sack of weed or something like that. And you're getting arrested and thrown in prison for 10 years for that. So how are you gonna trust cops? You know, how are you gonna trust the law enforcement? How are you gonna trust the judicial system to really have your back or allow you to learn from your wrongs? They're not even wrongs, because that's not a wrong thing, dude. Who cares, man? We're not harming anybody by having some weed, you know, just stuff like that. It's like they're making it so difficult for things to become normalized, for everything to be equalized, and for people to just live normal lives without living in fear, man. Like, it's just sad. It really is sad. Like, one time I was with my friends, and like I was the only white dude in this crowd, and it was like some Mexican kids, black kids, whatever, and they're driving. I'm like in the back seat, and they get pulled over, and I'm like, what the fuck? Were you speeding? No. What's up? We're not. Nothing was going on, you know. Okay, maybe you're the black tail lights out, whatever. Cop comes, wrote down your license registration. He's like, what I do wrong? He's like, license registration. Can you tell me what I did wrong before I give you my license and registration? Give it to me now. Get out of the vehicle. So I was like, hold on, you know what? Like, this guy wasn't speeding. Is his tail light out? He's like, I'm not talking to you, sir. I'm like, well, I'm part of this car. Like, we're all in this car. You know, I was monitoring his speed. I don't think he was speeding. Like, then he's like, I just needed to search his trunk. I'm like, do you have a warrant? Don't get smart with me. Do you have a warrant? Give me your license registration. I wasn't driving. Well, your driver has to. I'm like, how about we just go a couple more blocks to our house where we're trying to go home and have a simple day? Yeah, whatever. Dips. I'm like, see, shit like what the fuck, dude? Out to get you for no goddamn reason, bro. No reason.
I think they get paid sometimes for.
Well, they have to meet a quota, dude. They have to give tickets.
Yep.
They have to do this and whatever. Maybe make some.
Well, is that just the dumbest thing? Is that just the most Aren't you asking for like bullshit? It's like the things they had in Kentucky, like with the warrants and no knock warrants. Like, you're asking for some shit to go down. You're asking for there to be a situation that happened like with Breonna Taylor, and it's like, you really gonna put quotas for policemen to have to write people up? Well, they're gonna look sometimes and try to find some people then once in a while if they feel like, especially those who are corrupted, that are going to go out there and be like, you know, hey, we wrote this person up for bullshit, but I need to meet my quota. I mean, what a dumb system that is. The idea should be to protect people and make sure people are their job is to enforce the law. That's it. Not to guess what the law is, not to redescribe the law, just to enforce what is already there on the books. And you see that, and then you see what that other shit that happened at the Capitol, where like you got these people who were talking about for literally months, Blue Lives Matter. And then they go in there and they talk, and the shit that they said to the Capitol Police.
Did you say Blue Lives Matter?
No, that's the shit that they say, right? They'll say Blue Lives Matter, right? All that nonsense. And then they'll go walk in there, and then they'll literally be like, and they'll be there, and they'll be like, they'll talk shit to the fucking policemen and the policemen because now it's like they're against them and their white supremacy and their desire to take back. Like, what the fuck? They can't even follow the shit that they seem to preach. And then at the same time, like you were saying, you got some police officers in there. You had a Olympic gold medalist swimmer in there. Yeah. You got these people you have some rural folk who are psychotic. You got some people in suburban America who are wealthy as shit, who are there. Like, it was all organized. And it's like the whole thing. And like, you start looking at it, and then you start talking to people who kind of supported that, but they didn't want to say it, or like they didn't support it, but they supported other aspects of it. right? And you go talk to them like, how do you feel about that? Like, oh yeah, I can't say shit now. Like, yeah, I can't speak for the next 2 years. Like, you can't say shit. You just lost every argument because now you're like, you're aligning yourself like with that kind of crazy radicalism, that kind of insane, like what, I don't even know what that was, bro. That's just straight, I call it a diet coup. I heard that from a YouTuber. I call it a diet coup. That's what that shit was. Like, that was just the biggest, I mean, joke I've ever seen. And it was also the most serious, one of the most serious crimes I've seen since 9/11, you know? So it's like, it's a certain point. Like, I'm curious, like, Jamo, like, get you in on this a little bit. Like, what is your thoughts on what you saw there? And then maybe talk a little bit about like some of your interactions with, you know, the police and with, what you see as being kind of some of the issues there.
I'm gonna start off with the police. So a lot of people use that analogy of the bad apple in a tree. And I think the problem with that is that there's a bad apple in a tree, you're supposed to remove it, but then it just spreads and stays on the trees. Now the whole tree is rotting. That's one problem. Then the other problem are the laws already put in place. Back in the early 1900s, when they started criminalizing like heroin and drugs, they weren't as powerful as they are now because they were regulated. And then you criminalize them, and now they're unregulated and even more dangerous for people. So you're arresting people that have addictions that can't really do anything. So you force them to either like die because they can't handle it, or just relapse by not offering like something to help them with. And like with the Capitol, I don't know. A lot of white people are weird.
Bullshit can always come down to that, you know.
I was like, bro, is it really that deep? Like, what is it? Like your president lost. Okay, cool story, bro. Could you move on?
Right, we'd hope so. Fuck.
We got bigger issues in this country, bro. You know, than like dignity.
So dependent on that president who probably doesn't even doesn't really
don't give a shit about them. He doesn't give a shit about them at all. He's gonna go back to his New York metropolitan lifestyle if he could. He doesn't give a shit about those people in rural America, and they've got fooled into thinking he cares about them.
Because their lives aren't gonna change that much with him out of office.
Yeah.
How is it that big of a deal to you? Like when I'm trying to think of a time. I'm not that old. Probably like when Bush beat Al Gore. It didn't happen. There were probably a lot of people upset who were like, oh well, the votes from Florida were counted too many times or shouldn't have counted or whatever. But no one stormed Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like
Obama winning too, bro. Probably, I'm sure.
Even with him winning, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Like, they were like, "Oh, Mitt Romney lost. It is what it is." What makes it different? It's like it's a cult-like following, or it basically is like people who can't acknowledge when he's wrong, even it's clearly a lot of times where he has been wrong, and like people who just I don't know, they're fans and they're not really.
Yeah, fanboys, man.
That's all they are, bro. They think they're influencers. They think they're 21st century. So they're, dude, okay, they go in there and they take selfies, bro. They think they're social media stars, all right? These guys are fucking losers.
Idiots.
I've never seen a bigger group of dumb fucks in my life, bro. And look, this shit was organized. Like, that shit was organized. Like, they found now evidence. The FBI's come out saying, I mean, do you see, like, there's, like, images of, like, law enforcement sleeping on the, like, in the Capitol? Because, like, the National Guard, that's right. And it's because they're trying to protect shit for the next week. And like these people like worked apparently with like some people in Congress who were super like conspiratorially like right wing QAnon fuckers, and they just like worked with them, and then they kind of just like got in there, and I don't know what they were trying to do, but that shit you watch that and you're like, now I know why the other countries think we got some issues, you know, because this is what we get to show them. This is what we show them every week. We show them shit like this. You can make a movie about this shit. It would be a comedy, bro, but it also it'd be a comedy, but then it also like it hits you like, oh wait, this ain't a comedy. This is like this some shit we've seen before 1930. And that's what I'm saying. It's like it's all fucking bullshit. It's all like it doesn't move us anywhere. And it's like we need to, at a point we got to just move forward, man. We got to move forward past this shit. We got to do something about the real problems that are affecting people and move away from this drama, like this polarization, this dramatization. And the problem I have is like it feels like the right keeps getting further right. So it's like the middle keeps going to the right, and I'll fuck with that. Like I'm like, nah, like those people motherfuckers don't count. The QAnon people don't count, bro. Like they're making shit up. We need to keep things in the game where we can talk about real shit from a serious point of view, and not with these conspiracies as being part of the agenda. Problem is, like, there's like 100 dudes in Congress that believe QAnon's like a real thing, and that believe that Trump's their almighty savior who's gonna save the, like, what do you do for you? What do you do for you? Now he doesn't give a shit about it. So it's like it's all like, you know, like white people problems, you know what I mean? It's like Jameson was saying earlier, he's like, damn, at the end of the day, white people are just weird. Like that's what this shit can all sometimes just boil down to, you know?
And it's like, we gotta stop electing people that are old. Like,
yeah,
like
we need to get some youth in there. And that's not even being ageist. Like that's not being like, it's just, I'm guessing what you're trying to say.
What'd you just say?
Ageist. So you know what they say about ageist?
Oh,
yeah, like if they're too,
it's a title for everything, dude. Jeez.
No, I'm not. This is not.
I
shit
know.
I'm
just saying. I'm not talking to
yeah.
you saying that.
But where people say like, "Oh, don't make fun of your elders and shit." Well, yeah, if my elders is putting this country in debt and taking our money, like, then I'm gonna say some shit. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. Like if my elders taking me to war, like I'm gonna say some shit. So it's like at a certain point, it's like, yeah, we need that young leadership. We also need like just new ideas and people with different lived experiences. Like I want diversity of lived experiences. Like I want that young man from the inner city. I want that individual, you know, from the suburb. I want that person who's worked in government, public service, that person in private. Like you want a diversity of a real American lifestyle, and not this BS where everything in America now, everything's on cultural lines. It's like everything's all cultural. And it really upsets me because it's like we don't really talk about the real shit when we only focus on like culturalism. That's something we've been trying to do the last 6 weeks. Is like really focus on like economics and social issues and politics, and like how that and how today we're just so mesmerized by what's in the moment, what's happening now, that we're not seeing the bigger picture. And like the cultural lines in America are so distorted, and they're impossible to kind of get people to come along with and bring people together on, that these other issues are now being put in the background. Like Jameson, you're talking about like real talk about how we get, you know, fix the demilitarization of police, how we fix the, you know, making sure that police officers are held accountable for shit, you know, talking about how laws should be changed and be adapted so that Black people aren't getting killed. Like this is that talk, in addition to, you know, the inner city or different communities getting money taken out of their communities, going somewhere else. You know, watching the tough on crime attitude of the government, or watching the drugs, the whole drug problem. And like really like zeroing in on those things. All those issues are never talked about anymore in the media the last 4 years, because it was all Trump. It was all white nationalism. It was like, and those are real shit. Like they need to be talked about. But like all these other issues, and I feel that's what I feel bad for, those people struggling in those communities, that now like they don't hear those people talking about the shit that they go through. And I sometimes just wish the news could be the news. Like I sometimes wish there's like this new news channel that like just does the news. Like they go into like little things going on in different communities, like different cities, and like really go and investigate what the fuck's happening, and then like report on it for the rest of America. Like that's the kind of shit we need to move us back, you know?
Vice.
Yeah, Vice does it. I mean, Vice has a little bit of like a bias, but like they definitely tell the story, and that's the important part, right? So that's what I'm thinking we need, is just less of that drama and more of the issues.
You know, fun fact, there's more military troops in the capital right now than there are in Iraq and Afghanistan.
No way. Is that true?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That means there must be like a lot, because there's still 20, a lot over there.
20,000.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
You know what I thought of? When I see an old person, I wonder sometimes, which side were you on during the civil rights movement? What were
Me
you?
too, dude.
I
Hell
say,
yeah.
yeah, people can change, but some people can't. Like, I'll always give them that benefit of the doubt, but it's just like, which side were you on, and all of that.
Yeah, I think about, like, I would love to ask, like, my, well, I mean, I don't really have that many grandparents, but I'd like to ask. I don't know if they'd even talk about it. I know my one for sure, like, dealt with the racist shit because they got kicked out of Louisiana basically for being darker than their other offspring. But that's another story for another time. But you know, my other grandmother, I don't know. She was from Pittsburgh, and that's like blue collar. Worked in like this, the steel factories and all that stuff. So I would like to think they're on the right side. Right side. See, the right side. Maybe someone else has a right side in their minds, but our right side, which is actually the left side. But it's just interesting. It's very interesting because I think about that a lot too. I'm like, damn, was your parent or your grandparent like on some other shit? Like, were they were they against social justice? Were they
No,
against
were they just against equal rights? Like that,
equal
that's the
rights?
thing,
I
though,
guess.
right?
Yeah,
Like it's
there you go.
because that's all that was.
Because those
That's
people
crazy.
didn't disappear. They're still here.
Yeah, for sure, dude, for sure. Maybe you could tell by their family and like their offspring, their sons, their daughters, and then their sons and their daughters. Maybe that's how you could. Because I mean, where was it rooted from? It didn't. I mean, maybe I think more often than not, like you said in the beginning of this podcast, that it comes from how you were raised, your environment, and what you're around, and that's all you know. And I don't blame a kid that's 7 years old saying this shit. Like, they don't know any better, but then it's just hard for them to adjust and to change when they become their own man, their own women, when they're of age to really have a formulated opinion on these topics and things. Like, I would hope they could change, but it takes a lot to change, what, like 18 years of living one certain way, hearing one certain thing all your entire life, and to be exposed to a new, different environment, new culture where, like, what you know is what you know. Like, that's I mean, I try to not be one-sided, narrow-minded. That's why I always value the art of listening and actively listening and being more wise than those around you. You don't have to be the smartest dude in the room. You don't have to know how to do a math problem, do all this shit, but be wise, have the knowledge to converse with different people from different backgrounds. I think that's a very powerful thing to have as a person, as a human being. And it's just, it's going to take time to really change that environment, change the way people are raised. And next generation's not going to happen. After that, who knows? But I don't think in our lifetime we're going to see full equality. I think that we have a chance to. This is like our chance. Like, these next 4 years are going to define a lot for the future, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
How do we react? How do we come back from a hell that we existed in for the last 4 years, especially 2020? How are we going to bounce back? How are we going to build back? How are we going to, like, what things are we going to make priorities over other things? It's just going to be very interesting to see. I just hope we do it right. That's all you can hope for. And we really could only do so much as individuals, but hopefully our leaders aren't being clowns. That's all. That's bottom line.
That's all, man. That's what we got to do,
Shit, bro. I think that's a good segue to wrap it up, man. I think I just want to appreciate you, Jamo, for coming on. Really, really appreciate it. Miss you, dude. I hope you're doing well. You're about to graduate in May. That's
congratulations, almost.
Congratulations. Proud of you, bro. Finishing.
Do you know if you guys are gonna get a commencement? Probably not. Do you know yet?
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be on. They didn't tell us officially, but.
Okay. So we both of our years got fucked then, basically.
Oh,
damn.
Yeah. That's true.
That's crazy.
I played with some with you guys, and it was kind of, yeah, it's kind of shot.
Yeah, I was kind of shot. I haven't heard that in a minute. Dude, I was thinking like we would come to your commencement and have something for our class as well. That's what we were told. Obviously, it's not gonna happen now.
Yeah.
2022, baby.
Yeah, let's pray out. I still think, bro, if they could 2020, New York, not gonna happen. Probably 2022. But even then, they could get, but we don't have. There's not enough room for the other two classes, right?
The stadium's huge.
Oh yeah, there's enough room. I forgot. There's definitely enough room. But I'm curious if they can actually do that, like coordinate it. They better coordinate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see. Got some big games this week, though. Got some big games. You know what I mean? Like, hey, Jamo, do you watch football a lot or not really?
No, sir.
More basketball.
Neither.
You do? Are you gonna keep up with some of the who you think's coming out of the NFC this year?
Wait, bro, I don't watch anything.
Oh, I thought you said you did, bro. I thought you said you did. No, I remember now when we were in college and we were roommates. Because we were roommates for 6 months, right? Something like that. You didn't watch it. You didn't watch a lot of sports though, did you?
No.
So I feel. Yeah.
All right, bro. Well, again, I appreciate you.
For having me.
Of course, man. Thank you so much. Looking forward to running some call with you later. Yes, sir. Sure, bro. Please be safe. Please stay healthy. It goes to your family and friends as well. And again, appreciate you, bro.
All right. Thank you.
Stay safe, bro.
All right. So let's
what a guy.
What a guy. I mean, let's get into this football talk, dude.
Since I brought it up, I'm curious, like, what your thoughts are. We looked over some shit last week. We went through the games. I don't think we split even on them. I'm not sure.
Nah, definitely we all got them right, bro. We should have.
I think I got like.
Oh, did you pick Tennessee?
My only mistake was Tennessee. I picked Tennessee.
Yeah.
No, I got the Seahawks-Rams game wrong too. I picked Seahawks. Those two I got wrong.
Okay.
Other four I got right, yeah.
Okay, so now let's go Tampa Saints. Who you picking?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Saints here. I think that last week was really interesting, the Tampa Bay game against Washington. Heineke is a dog.
Patriots had him too, dude.
Yeah, and Carolina had him before that, bro.
Like
we had him. We had him before that, so we kind of knew. Like, he's just a speedster. He was just a fast guy. So he really, he took apart, some of their defense there, and I do worry about that against the Saints offense. And my bigger worry is, with the Buccaneers, I think Tom Brady's going to come to play. Like, he had, I think, 380 yards, 2 touchdowns, close to 52%, 55% completion percentage. They got the ball around. They were able to get it to everybody, including, Brown, Fournette, Mike Evans, Cameron Brate, Chris Godwin. Everybody got some love here and there. But I think that, my biggest worries on their defense is that can they keep up with the Saints? I think it'll be a shootout. And I think the Saints defense is way better. I think the Saints defense can make more plays. And I could see a situation where Tom Brady gets in the wrong situation, a little pressure coming on him, pick here, pick there, fumble here, fumble there, more likely. And the game probably going to be a little high scoring, but I think the Saints pull it out.
You think that Chicago has a better defense than Tampa?
No, I think that Chicago's defense isn't bad, though. I don't think they're bad. I think they're just not. They have pieces there. Right? They had some pieces there. It was their offense, Chicago's offense, that was more problematic.
The Saints' offense isn't looking too good right now.
I know they're not, but I think, and there's a good point to be made that they've choked in the playoffs too much. Yeah. That it could totally happen again, especially against a team they play. Yeah, Denver. No, he doesn't look great, but I still see him throwing. He's still able to throw the ball. Like, I don't think it's as bad as it is. I just think that there's some problems with the route running, some problems with the scheming. I do think that since they played the Bucs twice, I can see them maybe drawing it up differently, and they know what works. But the Bucs could draw it up too, and now that they played them twice. I don't remember what the score was earlier in the year when they played, but they played twice. I do think that the Buccaneers lost to them. They got blown out, right?
Game.
So
maybe both, but they lost twice. So I don't.
Which is why I think the game will be closer.
I think Tampa's gonna win.
I don't. I think it'll be a closer game, though, but I think that I don't see a lot of cases where you lose twice in the regular season and then you win. That's pretty hard.
Why is that hard? It should be easier because you lost.
When you
twice.
get blown out, though, you get blown out, though.
Yeah,
it's
but
not like they just.
I
lost.
think
They
that Tampa's a different team because they're a whole new squad this year. That's particularly the offense. I think their defense has been, other than that blowout, been pretty good all year. I think that Brady's not going to lose fucking 3 times in a year to one team. I don't think it's ever happened to him in his life.
That's definitely not happening. No doubt.
Even losing two. I think the only teams he's lost twice in a year is like, maybe Denver. Maybe that's it. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think that it's going to be like, I don't know, dude. 27.
What's the score?
27-20. 27-20.
27-20. What do they have?
Or it's either going to be that or like they're thinking it's going to be high scoring.
Okay, well, so that means that they would easily cover the spread. Because right now the Saints are favorited by 3. So I think it's more likely that I feel you where you're coming from because I do not see Brady going down that kind of way. My only worry is that I've seen a team like that before. I remember when Carolina back in 2017, this was the year after their bad year, after the Super Bowl year, they went to the playoffs, played the Saints on the road, and played them twice that year and lost to them both times. And they had a close game where they played better than any time during the regular season. So I do expect the Buccaneers to show up to be a close game. I just think like you're talking 3 points there, 3 points here or there could be the difference. And I think the Saints get it. My guess, 33-30. Yeah. But I could see the Bucs there. It'll be really interesting to see them in the championship game.
I think Washington's D is way better than New Orleans D. Not way better, but they're better.
No. I don't think so. I think the New Orleans D is better. I think the Washington defense is – I think Washington defense is good because Ron Rivera is good, and he knows how to coach, and they have some good pieces there. But I think the Saints have more talent. They got more talent at the corner position with Marcus Lattimore and at the defensive line position with Cameron Jordan. He's a dog. I mean, like I do think Cameron Jordan's going to be a big player in that game with 2 or 3 sacks.
Yes, the O-line, held up against Young.
Yeah, he didn't do nothing. He did nothing. He said, I want Tom, and he got
Gronk
screwed.
Shut him down, dude. Gronk would double team whoever the lineman, whatever side he was on. That's why Gronk didn't have any catches. He just blocked the whole game.
The Jags just hired Urban Meyer, too. The Jaguars. Yeah, they just hired Urban Meyer as head coach. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Jaguars. Trying to build a program.
I was hoping USC would get him.
Really? You think he was going to go back to college, dude? I thought he was going straight to the pro. That was the only thing he wanted to do.
Yeah, that's true. So he's going to coach fucking Trevor Lawrence.
Looks like it. Looks like Trevor Lawrence probably.
Wow. Okay. So now we got Baltimore and playing the Billies, the Bills. I got the Bills are winning.
I'm loving the Bills right now, bro. I'm loving them. I'm loving the Bills. Bills are my team to go to the championship game at the beginning of the year, so I'm gonna stick with that. I think that the spread's with 2.5.
Put up a lot.
I see this being an interesting game because I've heard a lot of talk about who's got the most pressure in the AFC. I still think actually it's Patrick Mahomes just because I think his team's so good, and I think he's considered as being so great that if he loses to the Cleveland Browns, in the first game.
He also hasn't played in like 3 weeks.
No, but he's got, so I can expect a slow start, but I expect him to come back. So I think that other than him, though, you can make a case the pressure's there for either Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. Yeah. Josh Allen, because his team's been hot and you don't want to have a bad game here. And obviously Lamar Jackson, because still people look at him like he's not getting it done in the playoffs. And I think it's a fair critique of him, but I also think it's like he's young. You got to give him some more time. And I think that the teams he's on, this team particularly, may not be better than the team he had last year. So I think it's an interesting situation. I expect the Bills to win. I think the Bills gave it off. They made it a little too close last week with the Colts. And I could see a similar situation. I don't see any of these games this week being a massive blowout. So I do think the Bills win. I think something around 27, 24, 23, something like that.
Well, that's how you beat these teams. The Colts held the ball control, run, pound and ground. That's how you win against these teams.
Yep.
You have to do that. Don't allow high-powered offenses to have the ball in their hands. That's how the Patriots beat Mahomes those years. That's how the Colts nearly beat the Bills. This is what you have to do. So, but I don't think Baltimore has the capability of doing that. So I think that unless Lamar Jackson runs like 20 fucking times.
Yeah, I mean he's the running game. I mean because they don't really give it that much to J.K.
What happened
Dobbins
to Ingram, dude?
Ingram just fell off this year. Yeah, stop using him.
I don't understand it.
I don't know either. But he's the whole running game at the end of the day.
Yeah, he is. And like he's threw for 170 yards, ran for 120 or something. Like the entire offense. But so
I don't think that's sustainable. That's the problem. No, it's not really sustainable.
It's definitely not. So we got Buffalo. Agreed. All right, this is a big game. Green Bay against the Rams. It may snow in Lambeau.
I'm hoping it snows because I love watching football in that weather, in that inclement. I think personally,
Green Bay is gonna win.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think
they're gonna win anyway.
I mean, the Rams can't play in that weather, bro. They're just not used to it. You know what I mean?
I just don't throwing with like 4 fingers too.
Dude, that shit was crazy though last week against the Seahawks when that guy Wolford went down, man. That was sad. Like he went down and then Goff came in and did what he had to do. And this is the thing about Goff.
Showed out.
Yep. He's a game manager though. Like this is the thing I've been saying is that there's some franchise quarterbacks that are like continuous, consistent quarterbacks where you can let them take control of the game and give them the opportunity to show off their arm strength, show off their talent. Jared Goff can take you to a Super Bowl. But he needs everything to go perfectly around him. He needs a good defense. He needs good weaponry. And he needs to manage the situation. And that's the kind of franchise quarterback he is, where he'll take you to one Super Bowl maybe in 5 or 6 years. Like, that's the kind of guy he is. He's in a Patrick Mahomes who just has talent that takes your team to another level, or an Aaron Rodgers who just single-handedly can take you to the chip, even if everything else isn't perfect. And you can make a case logically that the Rams defense is definitely better than the Packers defense. There's no doubt about that. The Rams defense right now may be the best defense in that's still left and still remaining in the playoffs. And so that could be interesting to see what happens. I remember when Aaron Rodgers was down in Tampa Bay and he threw 3 or 4 picks that game against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers with a defense that was hot at the time, and he made some basic mistakes. Is it possible I could see that happening? It depends. I think because they're at home, it'll be different. I think because the Packers are at home and they've done a good job getting that home field advantage, that now they don't have to worry about going anywhere else. And even though there's no fans in the audience, it's not – I sometimes feel home field advantage is more to do about playing on your own turf than it is about the fans sometimes. And I think the weather and stuff like that will make it tough for the offense of the Rams to go. I think this is the game that has a chance of being the biggest blowout. I think the Rams only put up 10 points, and I think the Packers put up like 24, 25, something like that. So 24-10.
I don't know, dude. I think the Rams D is pretty good.
They are good.
They're not going to win. I don't think they're going to win. I'm thinking it's going to be like 23-14. I'm thinking, or 13.
Okay. I like that score.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a side. You know, Goff went 9 for 19 last week. He went 9 for 19, bro. That's Goff's stat line. That's what he does best, you know. And they gave Cam Akers the ball 30 times.
Yeah.
So if they can get the ground game going early on, you keep Aaron Rodgers off the field. That's the only way you can beat these guys. Ball control. Yeah. Exactly.
And then get some defensive scores like they did in the past couple of weeks. But
Aaron Donald's a fucking dog, bro.
Yeah,
he's a fucking beast.
They have a good team, man.
Ramsey's just a guy. Like he's just a guy that's like you trust him. Like for some reason, like he isn't always good. Like he makes mistakes, but you trust him. There's like an inherent trust you have with him that he's gonna show the fuck up. It'll be fun to watch him one-on-one versus Devontae. I think he'll cover him. I don't know though. I don't know if he'll cover him the whole time. But Devontae is right now the best receiver in football, undeniably. So if he can get some big plays going, I can see this game getting out of hand because I just don't think the Rams have the explosive offense with Goff injured right now. to compete with the Packers.
They got to get the ball to Woods more, like do some jet sweeps and stuff. Just get tricky, you know, do something different. Throw the defense off, get some yards, get something going, get the ball in your playmaker's hand. But yeah, they're not going to win. Moving on. Cleveland, Kansas City. Who you got?
I got Kansas City. I'm really happy Cleveland won. I think we both had them win last week. We knew that the Steelers were fucking they were chokers. They almost
came back too, which is nuts.
Yeah, but I think the game was always theirs. I think ever since that ball got over when Pouncey hiked the ball over his head, that reminded me. Yeah, that reminded me of that, but it also reminded me of the Super Bowl back in 2013 between the Broncos and the Steelers, or Broncos and the Seahawks, when it went over Peyton Manning's head and the game was over. Like from then, it was a blowout. And this case wasn't a blowout, but I think you obviously had Big Ben making early mistakes. You had, for some reason, everything just worked for Cleveland. You know, the offense was orchestrated well. The running game, Cleveland's one thing that is making them different this year is that running game. That running game is playoff. It's like that's a playoff running game. Yeah. Exactly. And that's why I think if they were up against the Bills, I could see them winning. But I don't see it happening against the Chiefs, mostly because I think if they put up points, anytime they put up points, that will be responded equally by Patrick Mahomes.
They give up so many points. The defense.
And they give up so much. Exactly. And I just don't see – I mean, look, they got pieces. They got Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward. But they also have a lot of like young corners and DBs now coming in because a lot of their guys are hurt. Or they had guys that had COVID. So I think if they can keep the running game going with Hunt and Chubb, I think Chubb had 76 and Hunt had 2 touchdowns. If they can keep the running game early on, they get that to work, then they can minimize the amount of damage Pat Mahomes can do. But I still think like Patrick Mahomes is going to make the plays. I think the Browns start off hot though early. I think they're going to start off with a 14-3 lead or something, but I think that they'll cover it. And by the third quarter, I think it'll be like 40 to like 20 something. I think this game is going to be like 40-26. I think the Chiefs are that good. I know that a lot of people are saying they're kind of like, they ain't playing that good recently. They ain't playing that good. I think that offense will show up. That defense is when we'll really learn if they're going to be a Super Bowl team and repeat.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I still have the Chiefs. Packers / Bucks. I'm not sure.
/ Bucks.
See what happens this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Do you think the Bucks could play? Could go all the way and play at home in the Super Bowl? You think that would actually happen? Because I don't think it would happen.
100%.
It's never happened before. Playing at home in the Super Bowl.
I think this team is.
You think Tommy can do it?
I think if anyone can, he could do it. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, if anyone could, it would be him. There's no doubt about that. But I don't know, bro. I just think that their team is like it's like glued. I feel like they're all glued together, and all it takes is one person to fall off, and the whole fucking thing like goes to shit. All it takes is Antonio Brown to get a little pissed, and the game's over for him. And I just don't see that sustainable for 3 games because it didn't take him 3 wins straight to get to the Super Bowl. I think maybe they get lucky this week and they beat the Saints. That could happen. And then next week they just don't show up. I think that's what's more likely. 3 games in a row being consistent after what we saw from them this season, where every other game they look bad. Yeah. I don't know. But it would be a hell of a Super Bowl.
Well, they ended the season really good. They were kicking ass.
Yeah,
so
they did.
Last 3 they're on kind of a roll right now. Their offense is clicking. All the receivers seem to be finding their niche in the offense. And as much as I hated Brady for dipping on us, I want to see him. I want to see him.
I don't know. I want to see the Packers, bro. At this point, I would rather see the Packers.
I've never liked the Packers, so
I would rather see Rodgers. I mean, I just want to see Rodgers versus Mahomes. That would be fun as hell to watch.
Or Brady Mahomes.
So Brady Mahomes would be more influential. I think it'd be a bigger box office attraction.
New GOAT against the OG.
Yeah. I know. I just don't. I don't know how I like that. The team playing at home for the Super Bowl. I don't know if I like that. I don't personally like that. I like the idea of like 2 teams going to like a location where they haven't played, and it kind of makes the game equal. Yeah. It evens shit out. So you're like, there's no team with the advantage here. Like you just show up on that day. I like that almost to the extent where I don't want to see the Bucks playing in their home field, and so that's why I would rather see a situation like, and it might be good for the Chiefs because Rodgers didn't play too well down in
Well, the
Tampa
good thing
Bay.
about that was with the ticket offices, they have a certain amount of tickets that the Chiefs are allowed to sell, and say Tampa is allowed to sell. So
Yeah.
teams, it's not like, oh, Tampa's home, cool, they just sell their own ticket. No, it's like,
Yeah, plus they're probably not going to be fully. I mean, it'll be like half, 40%,
Tampa has
40%.
fans, so they're one of the. That's probably what.
Yeah.
Is there still?
Yeah, maybe they will have it. May be full. I don't know. That'd be interesting to see. But it's more just like being there. Like think about it, Tampa Bay don't have to go nowhere. They just go back home, they chill, and they go right to the fucking field. The whole media days in their crib. Like it's kind of like, I'm not saying it's going to put the Chiefs to a disadvantage. I'm just saying it'll be interesting to see that happen. And then if Tom lost, then I don't know. That'll be something to see. I just don't think that they've been that team this year. Like I think that they haven't been the team that kind of, with the Packers, I've seen a team that's been generally consistent with some mistakes here and there. With the Saints, I saw a team with the Saints that towards the end of the year, you could say the offense was having problems, but their defense was playing unreal and they were winning games by like 20 points. And it was starting to be like, okay, wait a minute, like maybe they're getting hot. And so there's a lot of teams that have been hot. The Bucks have been hot at the end. The Saints have been hot at the end. And the Rams were hot at the end to a degree with their defense coming on. And the Packers were hot at the end. So I think it's interesting to see which one of them kind of that generates them actually going to the Super Bowl. But I think on the other side, it's like the only team that I could say has been hot all year was the Bills, and then the Chiefs are just the Chiefs. Like, so it's like, you know, I don't want to see the Bills in the Super Bowl per se right now. Like maybe a year or two, but I want to see Mahomes have to defend the title because I don't think it's a guarantee. I don't think if they go up and play against Tom Brady or play against the Saints or even play against Green Bay, I don't think it's a guaranteed win. I think they could lose. So I want to see that rematch, or I want to see that chance.
Yeah, the largest spread is -10 Chiefs against the Browns. Ravens Bills is 2.5 for the Bills, which is like, yeah, I mean, that's out of all the games probably gonna be the closest. And then Saints Bucks, 3 points. So we'll see, bro. It's gonna be fun weekend to watch these games for sure. I liked how there was 3 games on each day last weekend. That was kind of cool. Although I think it's kind of no, I didn't watch on Nick. Like kind of ridiculous.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but it was weird as hell.
Highlights.
It was weird as hell.
I kind of don't like how there's only one team with the bye now. I think it's kind of unfair. I think there should be 2 teams.
Yeah,
like how it was, because it's more incentive.
No, I agree with you on that. I think it's good to have more teams in because it's more football, and it is more entertaining to a degree. But you do want to have that situation. I did like the idea of having the top 2 teams have a bye because it gives them, I think, an equal shot at going to the Super Bowl. Where in this case, I'm pretty confident saying that it's more likely that both the number 1 seeds make it to the Super Bowl, you know, because they both have bye. So I think that's what's would be something to fix. And I also think that just having, I don't know, but I'm curious, like how they did the games, like on which programs and stuff like that, because I know the Super Bowl this year I think is on CBS. Am I mistaken about that? Is it CBS? It should have been NBC, but it was CBS.
I thought it was NBC too, but I mean, I thought it should be because I think last year was Fox, right?
And the year before was CBS, right? And the year before that was the Eagles Patriots game on NBC.
Yeah.
But maybe they don't do it every 3 years. Maybe they rechange it up after a while. I don't know.
I guess, yeah. But fit of the week, man. Fit of the week. Let's
fit of the week. What would we do without these fits of the week, bro? Because we don't got no fits of the week, bro. You know, we don't got no fits of the week.
Oh, us? I know.
Yeah, us. That's what I'm saying.
So this is straight from GQ's that article on NBA fashion throughout the first couple weeks of the season. This year you got Jordan Clarkson with the slides and the socks. That's the thing. It was funny. I was doing the survey. It's like, would you rather wear slides without socks or with socks? And the overwhelming answer was with socks. And I think that goes for everybody. I agree. Yeah, looks like a fit I would wear, bro. Like tuck in the sweats to your socks, the slides, comfy, but like still got like, and the bags has become a big thing. I don't know if you noticed in the pre-games when they're rolling up.
I've noticed it. Noticed it.
So I zoom in here. A nice watch too, man. Clarkson became like drafted by Lakers, and he like immediately became like that LA dude. Until he got like these insane like mural tattoos of like his daughter's face and like family members on his neck, which is like, all right, bro. Like I was not a fan of neck tattoos personally. Like that kind of was too much for me. But he's a baller, bro. He's a bucket for sure. He got paid this offseason as well, 6 man for Jazz. But this one we got Jaylen Brown, which is like very casual, but again the bag.
What's up with these? I mean, I've noticed it with these bags, bro. Like, what they got in those bags, bro? Like they got their, because don't they get all their stuff? Isn't all the stuff there, like in the locker room usually? Maybe not their shoes and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, most of the time. I mean, they fly with their own luggage and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they're responsible for that. But who knows? And this is Jaren Jackson.
I don't like those, the green and blue.
I don't like me neither.
I don't like those either. I like the shoes. I like the jacket. I just don't like those pants, bro. Like, are you in the army?
Would you wear? Like, I wouldn't wear socks with this fit either.
Yeah. And you got to roll up the jeans.
If you're
slightly,
not socks,
just slightly. Yep.
I like the bag though. Is this Palm Angels?
It matches with his jacket.
Yeah.
I think that's his phone.
Jeans are probably super comfortable. Actually, are these sweats? They are sweats and jeans, huh?
Oh, they are sweats.
I think so. That's great.
That's interesting.
Got Bronny.
Look at that, bro.
Chocolat.
The chocolat. Yeah, Bron always got that fit. Though, bro. Again, with that bag, though, with those bags. And that's like that shit ain't a suitcase, bro. That shit looks like what do you call it? A box that has a screwdriver in it. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what that shit looks like. A first aid kit. He's carrying a first aid kit, bro.
I can't even tell. The Blazers are fire though. I like those Blazers.
He looks like he's carrying the security, the launch codes for the U.S. Yeah, like, in that way, you open it up and you find. Yeah,
that's hilarious. Trump's like, where'd you get those?
Did
I leave them at the Warriors game again?
Damn, bro.
Got KD. He's like too tall for this picture.
Is that Obama. I didn't even see this.
Ramadama.
Yeah, that's lit.
I like that fit. I'm in. Very cash.
Yeah. Where's Kyrie? He walked in and say, "Where's Kyrie?"
Is he drinking here?
Yeah, I'm wondering what that is, bro. Looks like some like carbonated, like energy drink. That's not normal water.
Ben Simmons. All these shoes.
I love those shoes. I like the fit actually. I'm a fan of the fit. And again, I don't know what that bag is and what that design is, but I see
it's a purse.
It's everywhere.
Louis.
Yeah, that little purse. Like I don't fuck with that, but I like everything else though.
Yeah, I like the jacket. The puffer jacket's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Kyrie.
There he is. He showed up.
Actually, a lot. Those pants.
He showed up. Yeah, no, those look cool. I like that, but I mean, I'd rather see him on the court. That'd be nice. But all right.
He's a clown, bro. Stephen A. said he should retire, and I agree.
When he said that shit, he was like, "I'm serious. He should retire." I was like, "Damn!" Like he really went at his throat there, dude.
And I like this fit. He's got the rings, cool. Good fit. Hat. Not a fan of those types of hats, but those like skater strap back hats.
I don't know. I like those hats. I think those hats are okay.
All right. The jacket's dope too. Nice.
Well, yeah, I like
those pants though, man. I want to know what the fuck those jumper.
Those are cool. I like those. Yeah. I don't know about this, bro. This shit, bro.
I mean, he doesn't really have.
Tell me what this shit looks like,
voices.
bro. They don't have any choice. Don't they have a big section? A big section at the.
Yeah.
Shit, at the Walmart, bro. Because that shit. Okay, I don't know what
I don't like
I kind of
anything here.
he can't wear designer jeans because no one can design this shit for him. Like no one can get it for him.
These are probably, made for him, I'm sure.
Yeah, but they don't fit him though. They're not fitting though. They're too loose on him at the bottom and like they don't really work. He looks like a skater from the 90s, bro.
Yeah.
He looks like like a 90s skater, like a Tony Hawk lookalike. Yeah. But like that's what that shit looks like, bro. And
he doesn't good, have, dude. He's gonna be. He's like he could dribble, handle the ball, pull up, shoot threes, like.
Yeah, that three. That's the game right there for him. That's his career. Yeah. Getting those threes going.
And then that's
look at that fucking hoodie, bro. That's some like middle school type shit. I see like little kids wear those hoodies, bro. Like that shit, you can't wear that.
I used to rock the Old Navy hoodies.
Yeah, that's an Old Navy hoodie, isn't it? Like, unless he got a custom fit. Like I don't know, whatever. Bol.
Bol.
How did Bol start his own fashion company? He started his own line, like everything, bro. What would he call it? What would he call it?
Tall.
Big.
Well, shit, bro. That was fun today.
Good day in the neighborhood, bro.
Yeah, I had a good time, dude. Jamo, glad you came on, man.
Glad he came on.
Deep conversation with listeners. Obviously, as always, I'll put it in the bio comment section, but like and subscribe. And if you want to learn more about Jamo with the banger, Jameson Martin, aka Jamo, aka homie. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Jamo with a banger.
Yeah, Jamo again. Jamo with the banger. Check him out on SoundCloud. If you want to purchase beats, follow him on Instagram, and he has a massive library of beats. Literally at parties, he'd have his laptop making beats without listening to actually what he was making, which was insane to me. And you'd listen to it whenever he's done it, and you're like, wow, how the hell did you make this without actually listening to what you're making at the time? But that just shows to his genius and his taste for music. And crazy, he plays so many instruments, man. Wow, that's awesome. But shout out to Jamo. Thanks again, Jamo. Thanks everybody for listening in advance, and thank you, my brother.
Much love, bro. Glad to be on with you, like always.
Like always, bro. It's a good health to you getting better. It. And yeah, bro.